We have made it to the 2025 OHL playoffs, and this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. It's the number three Kingston Frontenacs in the Eastern Conference against the sixth seed Sudbury Wolves. Two organizations that are wanting to have a deep run. These are two fan bases that are desperate for a championship or at least a run to the OHL final. And could one of these two teams make it that far? Coming into this one, the series tied 1-1. These two teams only play each other twice during the regular season. It's kind of one of those oddities in the OHL scheduling because for the Sudbury Wolves, they have extra games against the Sioux Greyhounds and also the Barrie Colts. And because of those extra games, they've taken games away from the Ottawa 67s and Kingston Frontenacs because of the travel distance. Because when you look at it, from the Sudbury Community Arena to the Slush Puppy Place in Kingston, it's a 6-hour bus ride. So hopefully for these two teams, bus legs won't be a problem during this best of seven series. But when you look at the two games that happened during the course of the 24-25 season, they were some lopsided scores. Sudbury, they won 10-6 on January 12th, and then Kingston won 7-2 back on October 11th. So could this be a high-scoring series? The Frontenacs coming into this one, they're 5-5 over their last 10 games. And they're now on a two-game losing streak, so not a great way to roll into the playoffs. Although it's not much better for the Sudbury Wolves. They're also 5-5 over their last 10 games. They're on a four-game losing streak. Mind you, Quentin Musty out due to injury. Kachadelic, he was also hurt in the later stages of the season. So health, a big factor here for Sudbury going into the postseason. Now, when you look at the numbers, the Kingston Frontenacs, their power play, fourth best in the OHL, 24.6%. Well, Sudbury, their power play not too bad, seventh at 23.8%. So these two teams have power play units that can capitalize on their opportunities. And then on the penalty kill, it's also pretty even. The Frontenacs 12th at 77.7% and Sudbury 10th at 79.1%. Now, what's a big difference here are the amount of penalties taken. The Kingston Frontenacs have a league low of 720 penalty minutes, so they don't take a lot of penalties, whereas the Sudbury Wolves, the second most penalties in the OHL at 1,015 minutes. So yes, the Sudbury Wolves, their power play, it can capitalize on their chances, but if they're not getting a lot of power plays, and you're giving all those man advantages to Kingston, who has the fourth best power play in the OHL, things could get out of hand in this category because you want to have an aggressive style, but you also don't want to cross that line, especially if your opponent is known for not taking a lot of penalties. Now, in the goals for department, Kingston has the advantage, 281 goals for to 245 for the Sudbury Wolves. And then goals against, another advantage for Kingston. They've only given up 232 goals this season to Sudbury's 269. Top five scorers for the Kingston Frontenacs. Jacob Battaglia, he leads the way. He's had a great season for the Fronts. 40 goals, 50 assists, 90 points. The offense goes through him, along with Thomas Urinen. He is second in team scoring, 38 goals, 52 assists, 90 points. So look for Battaglia and Urinen to have a solid playoff here. They're going to want to lead the charge here for the Frontenacs against the Sudbury Wolves. Third in scoring is Cedric Gandon, the overager, who they acquired from Owen Sound before the season got underway. Gandon, 33 goals, 52 assists, 85 points. He's one of the top face-off men in the Ontario Hockey League. So if you can get the puck off the draw, get that possession time going early, then you can really capitalize on your chances. And that's exactly what Kingston gets with a player like Cedric Gandon. Third in scoring is Emil Piniemi, 10 goals, 50 assists on the season, 60 points. And then Ethan Miedema, fifth in team scoring, 23 goals, 34 assists, 57 points. For the Sudbury Wolves, their top five in scoring, Kieran Walton leads the way, 38 goals, 54 assists, 92 points. Henry Muse, who they acquired from the Ottawa 67s, 14 goals, 68 assists, 82 points. Muse, a very offensively minded defenseman, can be a little bit of a liability on the back end. We've seen that at times when he's with Ottawa and again with the Sudbury Wolves, but you want to be able to have that transition game, and that's exactly what Henry Muse has here for Sudbury. So Kingston, they're very familiar with Muse because of their rivalry with Ottawa, so we'll see how that translates here in this playoff series. Third in scoring, Nathan Villeneuve, bit of a sandpaper player, 34 goals, 36 assists, 70 points. He definitely brings that size and kind of toes that line when it comes to penalties. Fourth in scoring is Quentin Musty, 30 goals, 29 assists, 59 points. Now, that was in just 33 games. Remember, he held out at the start of the season requesting a trade before coming back to Sudbury. and now dealing with an injury. So that's a huge loss here for the Sudbury Wolves. We'll see how they can overcome that. And then fifth in scoring is Alex Ferran, 17 goals, 42 assists, 59 points. In goal, the Kingston Frontenacs, Charlie Schenkel has had the bulk of the starts this season. Of course, he was acquired from Sault Ste. Marie at the trade deadline. 24 and 16 is his record, a 3.13 goals against average, 897 save percentage. Remember, he took the Sioux Greyhounds to the second round, game 7 against Saginaw last year. So we'll see how that experience pays off here. And then Mason Vicari, he has an 11-4-1 record, 3.13 goals against average, and an 886 save percentage. As for the Sudbury Wolves, Nate Krawchuk, 19, 20, and 5 was his record during the regular season. 3.45 goals against average and a 901 save percentage. So he has the better save percentage out of the four goaltenders coming into this postseason, this round between the Frontenacs and the Wolves, because Finn Marshall backing him up, a 13-9 record, 4.20 goals against average and an 871 save percentage. So expect Krawchuk, if healthy, he'll get the bulk of the starts here for the Sudbury Wolves. And I do think at times Krawchuk can be a little underrated. As the Barrie Colts, we get to see Sudbury quite a bit, but we'll see if he can be a bit of a difference maker here for the Sudbury Wolves in this matchup. Now, the last time Sudbury and Kingston met in the first round of the playoff, or met in the playoffs in general, you have to go back to 2006. The Sudbury Wolves defeated Kingston in 6 games, and that was in the first round. So these two teams don't face each other often during the regular season, and they also don't face each other much in the postseason. So this is going to be, I think, a very fascinating series. It gets underway Friday. That's game 1. Game 2 will be Sunday. Game 3 back at the Sudbury Community Arena on Tuesday, April 1st. And then game 4, Thursday, April 3rd in Sudbury. So this one, I'm wondering if Kingston might have the advantage here, but you can't take the Sudbury Wolves for granted. Obviously, health is a concern for Sudbury. But let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this matchup. Who do you think wins it, and in how many games? Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.